tonight's meet between the Sabres of Shakopee High School and your Rosemont Irish. This meet is being conducted under the rules of Minnesota State High School League, and we remind all participants, coaches, and fans to observe good sportsmanship throughout tonight's event. Tonight's official is Dan Blonsky. Leading your Rosemont Irish are captains Josh Cobian, Jonas Cottsmith, Ethan Ockwig, and Carter Sikorsky. Rosemont is coached by head coach Jake Kemna, assistant coaches Emily Gabriel and Jeff Nelson, diving coach Dan Monahan, and strength and conditioning coach Dr. Tim Conboy. We request that you turn off your cell phones and put them on silent mode. Please be quiet for the beginning of each race and before each dive. Please also, no flash photography. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand, remove your caps, and sing along as we honor our nation and those who have served defending our freedom, singing our national anthem. Okay, our first diver tonight is Zach with a 401C inward dive tuck, 1.4. Scores 4 and 5. Will with a 401B inward dive pike, 1.5. Scores 4.5, 5. Lucas with a 401B inward dive pike, 1.5. Scores 5, 6.5. Starting round number 2 is Zach with a 402C inward 1 somersault tuck, 1.6. We have a shout out for Will from Charlie Knight, sending love from San Diego. Welcome, San Diego, California. Scores 4 and 4. Will with a 402C inward somersault tuck, 1.6. Scores 5, 4.5. Lucas with a 105C front 2.5 somersault tuck, 2.4. Scores 4, 5.5. Starting round number 3 is Zach with a 202A back 1 somersault straight, 1.7. Scores 3.5 and 4. Will with a 403C inward 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.2. Scores 4, 3.5. Lucas with a 5132D front 1.5 somersault, 1 twist, free, 2.2. Scores
5 and 5. Starting round number 4 is Zach with a 103C front, 1.5 somersault, tuck, 1.6. Scores 4 and 4. Will with a 203C back 1.5 somersault tuck 2.0. Scores 3.5. Lucas, 52, 33D, back 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist, free, 2.5. Scores 5.5 and 5.5. Starting round number 5 is Zach with a 51-21D front, 1 somersault, half twist, free, 1.7. Scores 2 and 3. Will with a 103C front, 1.5 somersault tuck, 1.6. Scores 4.5, 4.5. Lucas, the 203C, back 1.5 somersault tuck, 2.0. Scores 5 and 5. Starting our final round of diving is Zach with a 301C reverse dive tuck 1.6. Scores 3, 2.5. Will with a 52-21D back somersault half twist free 1.7. Scores 4.5 and 4.5. Our final dive of the evening is Lucas with a 403C inward, 1.5 somersault, tuck, 2.2. Scores 6 and 5.5. This concludes diving. Be a short break here to put the pool back together and then a warm up, and then we will start session number 2, the swimming portion. Right, Emily? Nothing. You get nothing out of Emily. Blonsky. Dan Blonsky is the official for tonight. You know. Blonde. I think that's a B. Anyway, welcome to the live stream for this evening. That was the diving portion of tonight's events. Take a few minutes, and we will be back with you with the swimming portion, starting with the 200 medley relay. There is going to be a short break after the 2 medley relay and before the 200 junior varsity freestyle. There'll also be another break later on after the 500 free and the 200 free relay. So be about 5 to 10 minutes, a little bit of warm up, a little bit of pool put back together, and we'll be back with you. Thanks. Okay, up first is the boys 200-yard medley relay. There are 4 lanes here. Josh Marwell leading off in lane number 2 in the backstroke. David Goodburn in lane number 3. Matthew Warwig in 4. And Carter Sikorsky in 5. All right, in the water right now in the breaststroke. In lane number 2 is Jagger Thompson. In lane number 3 is Josh Cobian. Lane 4, Quinlan Schroeder. And in lane 5, Jonas Cottsmith. Lane number 4, the A relay out in the lead right now. Into the water goes Jacob Olson to the butterfly. Next to go is lane number 3, Spencer Rudd. And then lane number 5, Ethan Ockwig. And touching down here in lane number 2 is Jagger and Braden Hertzberg going in on the fly. Jacob Olson finishing up his 50, and Evan Kinseth going into the 50 freestyle. Final leg of the 200 medley relay. Lane number 3 into the water is Tristan Timbers. Lane number 5 into the water is Alex Hoff. And finishing up his fly leg here in lane number 2 is Braden. And into his final leg is Michael Hokinson. Evan touching at 1:48.17. Lane number 3, Tristan will touch for his team at 1:57.41. Lane number 5, Alex Hoff will touch for them at 2:05.67. And lane number 2 is at 2:11.24. Again, this is where we're going to have that short break before the 200-yard freestyle junior varsity. So we'll be right back with you. Tonight's senior spotlight will be Carter Sikorsky, so make sure you hang around for that at the break after the 50 freestyle. And speaking of our senior spotlight tonight, Carter Sikorsky will be in lane number 4. And last week's senior spotlight, Charlie Banta, is in lane number 3. And unfortunately, Charlie lost his goggles. At least it's not the 500. You put him back on. Hopefully there's no water in there and he can swim halfway straight here. Carter's out in the lead here just at the beginning. Both of them coming up on their first 50 of the 200 freestyle. Carter making his turn, and Charlie close behind him making his first turn. There are about 25 of you online tonight watching. Better to be inside than outside tonight. You may want to stay in all week. I think this morning's 30 degrees is about the best we're going to see for a while, with lows drifting down to into the 20 below range this week. Ouch. Carter making his turn at the 100 at 1:05.68, and Charlie making his turn, and the clock did not stop for some reason. I'm not exactly sure why. Tamlin's working hard on it down there. you may or may not know, we are getting close to taper. Taper is the rest period that these boys take before their final meets. They're still discussing a JV champs meet and the format of how that might work. And it looks like the sections meet is going to take place, unless there is some catastrophic event where the numbers go way, way up in the district for COVID-19. But as of right now, we are scheduled to have the sections meet. It'll be inter-district, so it'll be the 4 districts, or the 4 schools in the district. And that is going to be in March. And it will be a finals-only event. No prelims, finals only. Here comes Carter coming into touch at his 200 at 2:17.74. Then Charlie at 2:25.40. Up next is event number 4, the boys 200-yard freestyle. This is the varsity event. Parker Pedersen is in lane number 3. Sullivan Labno in 4 and Sawyer Smith in 5. Sullivan touching first at the 50. All 3 of these gentlemen have swam this event this season, so they all have times. Sullivan's best time this season is 1:51.09. Knowing Sullivan and the way he works, I know he tries to go best time every time. And I'm sure tonight is no different. Sullivan coming in at the 100 mark. Again, we got Parker in 3 and Sawyer in 5. Both making their turns at the 100 with 4 lengths left to go now. Parker entered at a 2:03.94 and Sawyer at a 2:06.63. Got Allison Warwick back on the live stream. Welcome again from Australia. Your dad was over here showing me where you traveled to, so I got to see that. And I think it also said something about 8,754 miles away from here. That's a long way to go. But welcome, and I'm sure Matthew appreciates it. Here comes Sullivan. He's finishing up here. He's passing under the flags. He's going to be very close, if not under, and he is going to be under at 1:50.77. Great in-season time for him. Parker finishes up in lane 3 at a season best of 2:02.46. And a season best there for Sawyer at 2:05.87. Great swims. Up next, we have event number 6, the boys 200-yard IM. This is butterfly, back, breast, and freestyle. In lane number 2, we have Alex Hoff. Lane 3, Jacob Olson. Lane 4, Evan Kinseth. And in lane 5, Josh Cobian. Got a little bit of a hitch there from lane number 3 with Jacob. And there's a clean start. With the early lead, going to touch first at the 50 is Evan Kinseth at 26.57. Jacob right behind him at 28.34. So those two are leading the way right now. Alex makes his turn in lane number 2. finishing up his backstroke leg right here at 31:53 for that split. Jacob at 35:40 for his split. Alex splitting at 38:04 and now into his breaststroke leg. Josh Cobian splitting 36:16 and all the way through with his first 25 of the breaststroke. Evan going to make his turn here into the freestyle. Jacob and Josh on their final 50. Alex coming into the flags. He's got about 5 yards left before he turns for the freestyle. And there he goes. Evan coming in at 2:02:36. Jacob's going to touch next in lane number 3 at 2:12:07. Josh at 2:16:19. And Alex with about 8 yards left to go coming in. He is entered at 2:31:97. He's going to be super close at 2:32:16. Nicely done. Good in-season times for these boys. Up next, there is no JV heat of the 50-yard freestyle, so we're moving straight to the varsity. In lane number 2 will be Michael Hokinson. Lane number 3 will be Tristan Timbers. Lane number 4, Matthew Warwig. And in lane number 5, Josh Sikorsky. And they are off. Matthew has the quick lead right here, but he is followed closely by Tristan in lane number 3. That those two are neck and neck at this point. Matthew's got about a shoulder length lead on him here, and they push to the end. And Matthew with 24:42, so that's a little bit of a drop there. Tristan at 24:56, nice little drop for him. Out in lane number 2, Michael Hokinson at 27:38, and Josh Sikorsky at 25:67. Great swims there. As I mentioned, we have tonight's senior spotlight. The senior spotlight tonight is Carter Sikorsky. Pull him up here real quick. And there he is, fine-looking young man. Carter Sikorsky, of course, is a senior, and I believe has been on the team for 4 years. Hobbies and activities, spending time at the cabin and swimming. Swimming and time at the cabin kind of go hand in hand. Maybe he's on a lake. Hopefully he's on a lake. Makes swimming tough when you're not on a lake. Favorite stroke is backstroke. Best memory of RHS swim and dive, getting his first letter time at sections his freshman year. That is very exciting for any 7th, 8th grader, freshman, any first year on the team. And he is most proud of earning that Eagle Scout. We've got a few Boy Scouts here on the team that I believe are now Eagle Scout. I think Josh Shakopee might also be. If not, he's close to it, but I think he is. So another senior from our first senior spotlight 4 or 5 weeks ago. Or 4 or 5 meets ago, I should say. So that is your senior spotlight for tonight. We will have another one next week. Who will that be? I do not know. So don't tell me anything, folks. I promise. I'm going to give you the diving results here ahead of shouting them out over the PA system. In third place, Zach Van Warren, our 7th grader, at 102.37. He seems to be climbing every week. That's great to see. He's improving a lot. Will Kerrigan in second place at 132.97. And Lucas Gerton, our 8th grader, at 202.27. Congratulations there. I'm going to announce that to the crowd, and we'll go from there. We'll be back with you in just a few minutes. Do hope you're enjoying our senior spotlights. We have eight seniors this year. I haven't counted for next year. I'm not sure how many we've got for next year, but I know we've got 8 this year. And I believe we've brought you 4 so far, so we should have 4 left for you. But again, tonight is Carter Sikorsky. Go back to that 200 freestyle. Sullivan Labno with his 150.77. While not an all-time best, it was definitely a season best. His all-time best is 149.95. So that's a great swim. I mean, we got to look at the fact of how hard they're working, and I know they're in the weight room Tuesdays and Thursdays, including this morning. So they're tired and they're beat up, and the fact that they're coming this close to their best times. Not only season best times, but all-time best times, bodes well for a great end of the season. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm excited about it. I'm super glad there's the sections. I'm still waiting on official word about the state meet for boys and possibly a JV champs meet for boys. Those are in the works from what I understand, but there is nothing official at this time. But again, that section meet looks like it will be happening. And I believe that is March 8th and 9th. I'll have to, let me go look at my calendar here. Yeah, March 9th and 10th. So it's a Tuesday, Wednesday. One night will be diving and one night will be swimming. The 4 district teams will be swimming at Blue Water Aquatic Center in Apple Valley, home of Riptide, and the other 4 teams, including Eastridge, Burnsville, Park, and I think Woodbury, will be out at Olmsted Senior High School. So the swimming should all happen on the same night, just 2 different venues, 4 teams at each. So that's the 9th and 10th. If there is a state meet, it would be the 18th, 19th, and 20th of March. So it would be the next weekend after sections. So about a little over a full week after sections. All right, looks like we're getting close to starting the meet again here with the 100 butterfly. Still got a couple of people in the water, as you can see. This is a Varsity Heat. Jacob Olson in 3, Evan Kenseth in 4, and Spencer Rudd will be in 5. Going back to our senior spotlight, I was just informed that Ethan Ockwick, Brennan Worth, and Alex Hoff are also all Eagle Scouts, and all from Troop 295. So we got some. That's pretty cool. That takes a lot of dedication. We get the high sign from Dan. So here we go with the 100-yard butterfly. Again, lane number 3, Jacob Olson. Oh, I'm sorry. There is a junior varsity. I missed it. Junior varsity. Sorry about that. It was at the bottom of my page, and I'm not wearing my glasses. So here we go. Lane 3 is Josh Sikorsky. Lane 4, Braden Hertzberg. And lane 5 is Ethan Ockwick. Apologies. Hope I didn't scare any parents there. Touching first at the 50 is Josh Sikorsky, freshman in lane number 3. Neck and neck right now are 4 and 5, Braden and Ethan. Josh still in the lead here with about 10 yards left to go. So got a pretty good race out there in 4 and 5. Lane number 3, Josh is going to take this heat with a 1:12.68. Great in-season drop for him. Lane 4, 1:14.85. And at lane 5, Ethan is at 1:15.31. Nice in-season drop for him as well. Now we move on to the varsity. This will be lane 3, Jacob Olson, lane 4, Evan Kenseth, and lane 5, Spencer Rudd. Pool record was set by Lakeville North Andrew Trepanier, who is now swimming for Michigan. He's a freshman at Michigan. Evan in lane number 4, touching first at 26.86, followed by Jacob at 28.11, and Spencer at 30.29. And Evan touches at 57.90. 57.90. Jacob with a very nice swim at 59.52. And Spencer with a 106. 35, so that's an in-season best as well. Yep, Freestyle Junior Varsity. This is event number 13, the boys 100-yard freestyle junior varsity event. In lane number 3 is senior Charlie Banta. Lane number 4, senior Michael Hokinson. And in lane number 5 is junior Josh Marwa.
It's too exciting for me. He did put that butterfly look better. Yeah. That looked okay. He was faster. Yeah, he did a 26 first. I was thinking if you could just do that coming back. Yeah. All right, we'll see you later.
Sorry, folks, I talked to my dad there for a second as he just passes through the camera. Lane number 4 is Michael Hokinson at a 1-minute .08. Lane number 3 coming in second there is Charlie with a 101.41, a little bit of a season best right there. And lane number 5, Josh Marr with a 101.98, down from a 115.27. I'm telling you, these guys know how to get to shape pretty quickly. All right. We have the Varsity Heat coming up next. In lane number 2, we have David Goodburn, senior. Lane number 3, Tristan Timbers, sophomore. Lane number 4, Quinlan Schroeder, freshman. And in lane number 5, Sawyer Smith, a freshman as well. Good race in the middle of the pool there between Tristan and Quinlan. In 3 and 4, they are head-to-head. Quinlan with I don't even know how far that is. Not very far. They're going to turn pretty close to the same time. 2/10 apart. So we've got a good race going on here for the first position. Again, still turning at the same time, so let's see who's got it. Let's get the gumption for coming home here. It's going to be a good race. Crowd's excited. They're going wild. Oh, might we see a tie? Well, lane number 3. So Tristan takes that one at 55.27. Followed about 15/100ths of a second behind at 55.42 is Quinlan. Lane number 2, David, 59.64. And in lane number 5 is Sawyer at 58.24. Okay, up next is the 500 freestyle. We're out there waiting for counters. You can see them on the far right-hand side of your screen. 500 is 20 lengths of the pool. We have 2 counters right now. We are waiting on a counter for lane number 4. Josh Cobian's going to step up to the plate here and count for Sawyer in lane number 4. This is the Varsity Heat, so there is only one heat. Lane number 3, Parker Pedersen. Lane number 4, Sullivan Labno. And lane number 5, Alex Hoff. After this, it'll be a short break, probably about 2 minutes. Mostly because it looks like Sullivan and Parker are both in the 200 free relay. So Sullivan out in the early lead at 26:29 for his first 50. We got from Michelle Hoff and Roger Johnson. We got Go Alex. Could be wrong, but Roger Johnson sounds like a name from the past. Maybe a swimmer from Rosemont High School, a little bit younger than me, but I seem to remember the name. Throw something in the comments, Roger, if that is who you are. I don't remember a lot in my old age, but that name stands out to me a little bit. Oh, I knew it. 1991 graduate. So you were a freshman when I was a senior. I knew I remembered the name. Welcome to the live stream. Sullivan making his turn at the 200 mark at 157. Parker making his turn at the 200. And Alex making his turn at the 200. Sullivan coming up on the halfway point. This is a grueling event in the mid-season with as much work as they're doing, as much lifting as they're doing. It's tough to keep those arms and legs going for a solid 4.5 to 5 minutes to 5.5, 6 minutes. Alex is now turning. He is halfway there. That's for you, Michelle. So Alex has turned. He's halfway. Sullivan cruising right along here. Turning at length number 13. All three of these gentlemen have swam this a number of times already this season. Alex has a time coming in of 5:56.48. Parker with 5:25.35. And Sullivan at 5:05.19 for a season best. At this turn, Sullivan will have 4 lengths left. This is the 400 mark of his event. Alex at the 350, Parker coming into his 400. And in just a moment, over Sullivan's lane and lane 4, you're going to hear the bell. That's called the bell lap. It is over the person in the lead with 50 yards left to go, or 2 lengths. There it is there, Dan, the official. And Sullivan with 2 lengths left of the pool to go. Sullivan finishing up here. He's going to be right about that season best time at 5:05:30. And Parker on his final length right now. Again, he is entered at 5:25:35. He's going to be a little bit off of that. At 5:29:60. And Alex on his final 25 here. Again, entered at 5:56:48. He's going to drop some time, I believe. Absolutely. Nice time. 5:51:14. 5:51:14. All right, here we're going to have our 2-minute break. So we'll be back with you in just a second. And here we go. I hope you didn't wander out to shovel the driveway because these breaks don't take long. This is the 200 free relay. This is a varsity event. There is only one heat. In the first position in lane number 3 is Josh Sikorsky. In lane number 4, Tristan Timbers. And lane 5, Spencer Rudd. Yeah, lane number 4 into the water is Quinlan Schroeder. Lane number 3, Sawyer Smith. And now into the water in lane 5 is Jagger Thompson. Quinlan without about a body length lead on lane number 3 here on Sawyer. Quinlan touches. Josh Cobian, our senior, will be going into the water. Lane number 3, Charlie Banta, another senior into the water. And in lane number 5, yet another senior, Jonas Kotzman. Josh has opened up that lead a bit. And he leads into Sullivan Labno, who hits the water, and he is in on the anchor leg of this 200 free relay. Charlie touches and sends Parker off, and in lane 5, Jonas touches and Michael Hokinson is into the water. Sullivan finishing up here at 1:40.71. Lane number 3 is going to be 1:46.66. And lane number 5 at 1:53.66. Up next is your JV Heat of the 100 backstroke. Josh Marwa will be in lane number 3, and in lane number 4 will be Ethan Ockwig. Both have swam this event this year already, probably more than once. Josh entered at 121.27 and Ethan at 119.69. Now, please remember, these are season best, in-season best times for this year. These are not personal best times over the course of their lifetime. Josh opening up a little bit here in lane number 3. He is going to touch first, making his turn. Ethan making his turn. Both have 2 lengths of the pool left to go. Josh crosses under the flags. Again, 121.27. He's going to crush that at 115.31. And Ethan at 120.80. So he adds just a little bit to that 100-yard backstroke. Up next is the varsity event of the 100 backstroke. We have David Goodburn in lane number 3, Matthew Warwig in 4, and Carter Sikorsky in 5. And they are off. Matthew leading the way just off the start. Matthew's in-season time is 57.14. That's actually only about 0.2 off of his all-time best time. So he's already showing some promise for the end of the year. David is entered at 105.89 and Carter at 108.33. So we'll see if they can drop some time here. Matthew looking nice and smooth, makes his first turn at 28.32. David and Carter hanging out together there in lanes 3 and 5. Only about 0.6 of a second separating those two. Carter starting to pull out a little bit here. Away from David. Matthew still with a comfortable lead on his final 25. Again, best in-season time is 57.14. And he is right there, 57.55. Carter passes under the flags. Now David. Carter is going to touch at 106.71. Nice drop for in-season. And David at 109.75. Up next is the JV Heat of the 100-yard breaststroke. This is event number 21. And lane number 3 is going to be Jagger Thompson. Lane number 4, Braden Hertzberg. And lane number 5, Spencer Rudd. We do have a shout out from Grandma Cobian here in Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Team Irish, great swimming and diving. Keep up the great work. Captain Josh. We're enjoying the meet on this cold and snowy evening in Sheboygan, Wisconsin while sipping on that hot chocolate. That does sound good, and it's just going to get colder. So bring in the brass monkeys and put the sweater on the dog because it's going to get cold. So Grandma says, go Irish. Grandma and Grandpa. So both watching, hopefully on the big screen. And a good little race here between lane 3 and 4 between Jagger and Braden. Sneaking around on the outside there. Don't count out Spencer just yet. Braden, a freshman, he's opened up the lead by about a body length at this point. Spencer has made a little bit of a move on Jagger, but I don't think there's enough room left here. So Braden is going to touch first in lane number 4 at 1:19.89. So he is right on his season best. Jagger at 1:22.44. And Spencer at 1:24.21. Well, Grandma and Grandpa Cobian, you are just in time, because up next is your grandson, Josh Cobian, in lane number 3. This is the breaststroke, the 100-yard breaststroke. Pardon me. The varsity event, again, Josh in lane number 3, Quinlan in 4, Quinlan Schroeder in 4, and Jonas Kottsmith in Quinlan out to the early lead in lane number 4. Josh about a body length behind him, and Jonas about a half a body length down from Josh. All have made their turns. All have 2 lengths left of the pool in this 4-length breaststroke event. The longest breaststroke event is the 200, so double this. That is a club event, well, not a high school event. It's also a college event, so the 200s, 400 IM, 1,000 mile, and all those are also part of the college lineup of swimming. Here comes Quinlan into lane number 4 at 1:06.73, so that's a best in season for him. Josh at 1:11.66, a little bit off. And out in lane number 5, Jonas Kottsmith at 1:18.17. Up next is the 400 free relays. We have 2 heats. We have a junior varsity heat coming up now, which is event number 23. Leading off in lane number 3 will be Ethan Ockwig, and leading off in lane number 4 will be Charlie Banta. Again, if you're like me, I need my memory refreshed. Ethan in lane number 3, Charlie in lane number 4. This is the 4x100 yard freestyle relay. Each swimmer will swim 4 lengths of the pool or a 100. It's generally the most exciting event at sections as well. More often than not, the final score comes down to this event. Last year in the boys, it did come down to Rosemont and Egan. And Egan won the swim meet by 1 point. So they had won the section meet by 1 point. Tough loss, but we were close. Can't get any closer without tying. All right, into the water in lane number 4 is Carter Sikorsky. And in lane number 3 is Josh Marwa. As another side note, the meets, I believe, from here on out are at 5 p.m. If you look ahead on my YouTube, or the Irish Swim and Dive YouTube, you'll see the placeholders say 6 p.m. I'll try to get those changed. Jake and the coaching staff has decided to move all the meets up to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time, not Australian time. Allison. All right, lane number 4. Carter finishing up. Into the water goes Alex Hoff. Josh Marwa finishing up his leg in lane number 3, and into the water goes Braden Hertzberg. All right, coming in lane number 4, Alex Hoff. He is going to touch it. Into the water goes Jagger Thompson. Braden here with about half the pool length left to go. And as he touches, passes under the flags, touches the wall, Jonas Kottsmith will take the anchor leg of the 4 free relay. And off he goes into the water. Jonas making his turn at the 50, 2 lengths left. Jagger coming in his finish. Jagger will lead his team to a 4:09.24. And Jonas touching for his team at 4:33.99. All right, up next is our Varsity Heat. There will be 2 lanes, lanes 3 and 4. Leading off is Josh Sikorsky in lane number 3. And leading off in lane number 4, the Irish A relay will be Sullivan Labno. Again, Josh Sikorsky in lane number 3 and Sullivan Labno in lane number 4. Another little swimming tidbit for you. Nebraska has opened up their event venues to 100%, so it looks like there will be a Olympic trials for swimming. It's going to be held in 2 parts, though. There's going to be a men's and a women's, but there's also going to be 2. You can find all this on SwimSwam, by the way, swimswam.com. There's also going to be 2, how do you say, it's going to be broken in half by time. So they're going to have a time standard, which is going to be the first group, and then a time standard for the second group. And if you're in that first group, it is a slower time standard. It's just to cut down on numbers. Sullivan touches lane number 4 and Jacob Olson into the water. Josh Sikorsky finishing up his, and Parker Pedersen now into the water. So if you are swimming in that first part of the Olympic trial meet for swimming, and you place in the top 2, I believe, you will move on to that second part of the meet, which I believe is the next weekend, and participate for your chance to go to the Olympic trials, or to the Olympics, I should say, not the Olympic trials. So be on the lookout for that. Tokyo has said we are having the Olympics. We don't care what anybody says, thinks, or does. So hopefully we will have an Olympic Games. It'll obviously look a little bit different from other years, but we're going to have it, I hope. Jacob Olson finishing up Into the water goes Matthew Warwig. On the third leg of this 4-free relay. Parker finishing up in lane number 3. Sawyer Smith into the water to follow him. Matthew making his final turn with 25 yards left to go. Out there in lane number 4, crossing the halfway point. Evan Kinseth will be the anchor leg. And as Matthew touches, in goes Evan. Sawyer with his about 5 yards left, and funneling up for this one, the anchor leg is David Goodburn in lane number 3. Evan making his final turn in lane number 4, bringing it home. And touching at 3:31:42. David making his final turn, coming home. And touches for his team at 3:55:64. Does it for tonight's meet. Next week on Tuesday, it looks like, we have Burnsville. Burnsville on the 9th, and again, that will be at 5 p.m. And we also have the 12th, which is Friday. That will be the Apple Valley team. We believe that they will be off COVID protocol by then, so the whole team has been down for a couple of weeks. But we think they're off on the 9th, so we should see Apple Valley on the 12th of February as well. So twice next week, the 9th and the 12th, Burnsville and Apple Valley, both again 5 p.m. This concludes tonight's meet against Shakopee. Results should be ready later tonight or tomorrow morning. Thank you for joining us, and we will talk to you again on Tuesday. Thanks again.